want to ask you guys, the other surprise team is Purdue, right? Just how we've talked a lot about them on the field of 68. So I don't want to go like too in depth on it, but I guess TL, let's go to you first because you're the one that has strong opinions on the Big Ten. What is their ceiling, right? Are we kind of seeing them at their best right now? Do you think there's room to improve, or just the kind of thing where like teams got to figure out what to do with Zach Edey, and it's very hard to figure out what the hell to do with him? And I don't know. What's your take on this team?
I want to be very clear here. I root for Purdue. When I watch Purdue play, like I actively like. I love what Painter does. I love what they're about. I love everything about Purdue. That being said, no electric guard on that roster in terms of a Jaden Ivey type of dude.
They like that fit, though. They like that though.
They do, but you got NCAA tournament. You got to go get one. You got to find a guy who can go get one. Look at last year. Look who won last year. How they ended, like how the Final Four ended up. Colin Gillespie could get you one. Paolo Banchero could get you one. Caleb Love could get you one. Ochai Agbaji, Christian Brown could find ways to get you one. Like you got to have somebody. I'm not sure Purdue has that. What I will say is I think they're a second weekend tournament team. They're going to beat the heck out of somebody. I don't think it's a Final Four national championship team. I still cheer for them. I just worry because you have to have that. Yeah, I cheer for them. I cheer for them because I think there's a lot going on in college basketball. There's a lot going on, and there's a lot of different ways to attack. A lot of ways to skin a cat. But I like the way they operate. I like the way Painter coaches his guys. And it's just like they do it the right way in my mind. And I hope that they do well. But it's just like one of those things where at the end of the day, having a McDonald's All-American helps. Like at least on the perimeter. And they just don't have that type of dude.
I don't know.
Yeah, I will tell you this, though. They enjoy playing without Jaden Ivey out there because it got to the point last season where it was a little bit too much like freelance, right? Where it would be like, we're trying to run this, and then Jaden Ivey would just break off the play and go try to get his own. And yes, to a point, you kind of need that guy, but it also is kind of limiting when that guy isn't fitting entirely in with what the offense should be and the way it's clicking right now. Does that make sense? Like when you look at the best teams that Painter has had, it's just guys that understand exactly what they're supposed to do and exactly how to operate around this monster that they have at the 5, right? Yep. And the ways that he can kind of create opportunities through people just because of the attention that monster is going to end up drawing from everybody that they end up playing. So I hear what you're saying. I do think that I will say this. I think that they are enjoying playing this year better without having Jaden.
Elite 8 team.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with them too, right? When you don't have, if they had even someone like I don't even know if I want to say Carson Edwards, but like someone that was a little bit more experienced in the backcourt, and like we could end up, it could end up being something where like we look really dumb saying this because Fletcher Lawyer ends up being that guy that can go get you a shot, even if it's something that, like as simple as just running him off of one of those like. The floppy action or a staggered screen, something like that. But I don't know. I think at the end of the day, you need like NBA guys to win a national title. If you go back and look at all the teams that won titles, how many of them have won titles without a whole bunch of NBA guys on the roster? And who on Purdue's roster is an NBA guy? Like even Zach Edey, I don't know if he ends up like he'll probably play in the like be drafted and someone will take him and be like, yeah, you know what? He can probably do what Boban does, but you know what I mean? Like, where are the pros? Fancy, where are the pros?
I don't know. I mean, it's not like Kansas was loaded up with great pros.
2 first-round picks.
Yeah, but Ochai Agbaji's not doing anything right now.
First-round pick, NBA guy. First-team All-American.
So, what do you think about Zach Edey's pro prospects? He's 7'4". I mean, I think someone's going to draft him and use him the way they use Boban, where it's like a kind of a matchup specific, super uber efficient guy against teams where you can use drop coverage. He can get you 15 to 20 minutes here. There's going to be matchups where you can't play him at all. He'll be a useful piece for a matchup specific situation for a smart NBA franchise that needs an uber efficient monster guy at the 5. I'm in on him. If you're calling them an Elite 8 team, we don't know who's on the other side of that matchup. Purdue's loss to St. Peter's last year is beyond mind-boggling. It's beyond mind-boggling.
But it's not.
Yeah, it is.
Sorry, but okay. So we agree to disagree, but I'll let you go first. Go ahead.
I think
that sums up this podcast perfectly, right? That loss was mind-boggling, but it's not. But it is. But it's not.
I think they're Final Four good. I think that they've got the biggest matchup nightmare in college basketball. And that's exemplified by what we talked about on Field of 68 After Dark. One night after Patrick Young said you got to front, or that you can't front Edey, John Henson says you got to front him. So we got analysts not knowing what's. I asked Rutgers yesterday. I sat in on Rutgers practice, and I asked multiple assistants and Steve Peichel, and if anybody knows, it's Rutgers, because they know how to defend. I said, so guys, how would you defend Zach Edey? And every coach had a different answer in how they would do it. In other words, there is not an answer. There is no answer for how you do that. Now you combine, I'm of the belief, and I'm going to die by this time around if I have to die. I'm of the belief that I want a backcourt that coexists, that has multiple guys, that plays well together, and moves the ball. I want that over one otherworldly individual guard who's going to get me that one bucket. I'm going to rely on team basketball, not just because it's team basketball, but because that team basketball, that backcourt, the 33 assists to just 8 turnovers for Ethan Morton, Fletcher Lawyer, and Braden Smith, the way that they have come on, I'm going to rely on that surrounding a 7'4" monster who looks like Yao Ming out there this time around. I think this team is better suited to make the Final Four run in West Lafayette.
Go ahead, Tio.
You make Edey work every possession defensively.
Mm-hmm.
You make him work every single possession defensively. That's what St. Peter's did. That's the reason that wasn't necessarily a huge surprise. It was a surprise that they beat them, sure, but how they attacked Edey was very different. And St. Peter's wasn't big. So, like, you use him not only in ball screens, but you use him in away screens, the guy he's guarding in away screens, because he's not going to get out and show. So, like, if you have guys that can shoot, you're very, very, very vulnerable. And I understand they're number one in KenPom right now in the country. However, it's just what you need you need a guy that can get you a shot when everything else breaks down, because NCAA tournament, everybody scouted well. Like, everybody scouted well. Look at the last few national championships. Kansas this year, Ochai Agbaji, Christian Braun, great college players. Baylor, both of those guards, great college players who can go get you one. Virginia before that, Kyle Guy, Jerome, Ty Jerome could go get you one. Villanova in 2018.
They had 37 guys that could go get you one.
North Carolina in 2017, guys who could go get you one. Like, you have to have that one guy that could go get you one.